What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan with Astrodfs bringing you a brand new video. Today's video is the first look for week 9 of DraftKings main slate. So, starting it off, Lamar, the only quarterback above 8K and a quarterback above 8K. Usually, we get high 7. Rarely have we seen 8K quarterbacks lately. Lower slates, but we do have an 8K Lamar against Denver, so that's pretty demoralizing there if you like Lamar this week. Jalen Hurts, it looks like a really good matchup against Jacksonville, 7,800. Josh Allen in a tough division game at 7,700. Miami just gave up, 20-something points, and the amount of points they gave up in the fourth quarter to lose against Arizona, Josh Allen really isn't a bad play there then. We saw it earlier this season. Jaden Daniels' division game against the Giants at 7,500. He's in a good spot. It seems like Jordan Love will be out, so we're going to get Malik Willis again. I don't think it's official, but I'm assuming so, right? Joe Burrow in a good matchup, 6,900 against Vegas. Kyler, tough matchup against the Bears at 6,600. Jared Goff, 6,500 against Green Bay. That one's a pretty good division game there. Goff against Green Bay, Malik Willis against Detroit. Kirk Cousins against Dallas and Dak against Atlanta. That seems like a really, really good game to target. Dak, honestly, this is a discount price on Dak from where we've seen him so far this season. So yeah, that game kind of stands out to me right now. Tua, 6,200 against Buffalo. Not really there yet. Caleb against Arizona, I think, is in a great spot. That's a great price. Bo Nix against Baltimore is honestly in another good spot against Baltimore. We just saw Jameis Winston go off on them. They were kind of banged up in the secondary, though. Geno Smith, division game against the Rams. Matt Stafford, same. $100 difference. Geno Smith still... last week was kind of the disappointing week against Buffalo, but overall this season he's been pretty consistent, getting you 15 plus DraftKings points, and his price for the most part doesn't get adjusted. Trevor Lawrence against Philly is a tough one. That's a no. If Derek Carr is healthy at 5,600, I'm okay with that. I doubt we get Drake May against the Titans. If he does, it's not the worst, but Malik Willis is 5,500 against Detroit, so that's a pretty good value pick right now. Jameis against the Chargers is tougher. Herbert down to 5,300. We saw him go down to 5,400, and he has a 24-point game, and now he's 5,300. All right, that's interesting. Daniel Jones, 5,200 against Washington. That is, they played week 2, right? Daniel Jones, 5,200. He got 18 DraftKings points against him earlier this season. Yeah. I'm kind of liking Daniel Jones as a good value this week. If Spencer Rattler is the starter, if Derek Carr's not good to go, 5,100. If for whatever reason Jane Daniels is not good to go, Mariota at 5K. If Drake May's not good to go, Jacoby Brissett at 5K. Mason Rudolph, Will Levis 4,600 against New England. Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. Gardner Minshew is 4,500. What? What? Gardner Minshew is 4,500. We have a starting quarterback, a known going to be starting quarterback at 4,500. And then we have Carolina 4,400. DraftKings. What are we doing? Where is this with other positions? We have quarterbacks. We have 2 starting quarterbacks on the slate at 4,500 and 4,400. Whether it seems like Bryce Young and it seems like Gardner Minshew. Both these guys are dirt cheap. This is crazy. This is not something we've ever seen at least that I've been doing this for a few years now. I've not seen two starting quarter, like two known, like it didn't happen because of an injury. Like these guys were going to start at this cheap. Like we usually see somewhere around a 4,800 for, a bottom quarterback on a bottom team in a tough matchup. Gardner Minshew against the Bengals, it's a good matchup for him. And Bryce Young or Andy Dalton, who I think it's Bryce Young, 4,400. Wow. Okay. All right. So building lineups is going to be really fun this week. I'm going to say building lineups is fun, right? You're going to have Hurts at a pay up spot, Josh Allen at a pay up spot, Jaden Daniels at a pay up spot. You have a good game, in my opinion, in the Dallas-Atlanta. You can go either way there. You can go Caleb Williams, Bo Nix there. Derek Carr, if he's the starter's in a good spot. And then you go really cheap. That is crazy. All right, this is going to be fun. It is. It's going to be really fun building lineups. Derrick Henry against Denver, no. Saquon against Jacksonville in a really good spot there. Kyron Williams up to 8K against Seattle. Kamara, 7,800 against Carolina in a good spot there. Jahmyr Gibbs, 7,600 against Green Bay in a good spot. Bijan against Dallas is, 7,400 for Bijan in a really, really good spot. Ken Walker, I think price gets adjusted, right? Yeah. 7,800 last week. His bad game goes down to 7,300. That's how it should be. James Cook really doesn't move in price. I think he goes up 200 against Miami. Pretty good spot there. Tony Pollard, the next guy at 6,800 against New England. That would be a good spot. Achane against Buffalo, yes. Hubbard against New Orleans, definitely. David Montgomery, if you want to pay down off of Gibbs. 6,500 against Green Bay, yes. DeAndre Swift against Arizona in a really, really good spot there. Really good price, 6,400. Just going down the list. Devin Singletary is priced too high, right? 7 carries in his last 2 games. No. Chase Brown, 5,900. That one kind of stands out. Zach Moss, on the contrary, 5,600. Tyron Tracy, it's a concussion, right? So, I mean, maybe that's Devin Singletary, but he's still priced too high. He's priced too high. We go down. I'm not. Maybe Justice Hill against Denver is a cheaper pay down option there. Tyler Algier is a value again at his price point. Like he's a value to me every week just because of the volume he gets, right? 12 carries last week, 18 carries a week before. Atlanta's defense has just been very, very, very bad. If for whatever reason Pollard's out, Tajay Spears, 4,700 against New England. Pretty good spot there. I guess if Zamir White is out, you get Alexander Mattison against Cincy. That's not bad. We'll move on to wide receiver, though. A lot of injuries in the wide receiver group this season. CeeDee Lamb, 8,800 with how Dak's price is. Yeah, I'm definitely getting CeeDee Lamb this week. Jamar Chase, if Higgins is still out, then yeah, Jamar Chase in a really good spot. AJ Brown in a smash spot against Jacksonville. Amon-Ra in a really good spot against Green Bay, and a pay down at 7,900. 7,900 for Amon-Ra. I didn't think we'd see this, but apparently that's what 8.7 DraftKings points gets is a pay down that high. Cooper Kupp against Seattle in a really good spot there. Malik Neighbors against Washington in a really good spot as well. Tyreek Hill, no. Puka, yes, in a good spot as well. Terry McLaurin in a really good spot against the Giants at 7,100. Marvin Harrison, I would watch the injury status of the Bears secondary. They were really, really banged up. So I would watch Marvin Harrison. That might be a good spot for him. Devontae Smith, yep, 6,800. Drake London against Dallas, yes, at 6,700. Believe Jacksonville is extremely banged up. I think they said Brian Thomas is going to be out 2 to whatever, limited. Yeah, I thought I saw that he could be weekly. So if he's in, I think he's in a really good spot against the Eagles. It's a good bounce back piece if you wanted to stack Philly and then have a run back. DJ Moore, great spot against Arizona. Jaden Reed, great spot against Detroit, and we get a pay down for Jaden Reed. We get a pay down. We haven't seen this price since week 5. So 2 very disappointing games. Granted, it will more than likely be Malik Willis, but still in a good spot there. Yeah, Deontay Johnson, 6,300 against Denver. I would imagine. I don't know where the receivers would line up though. I think Zay is more of a slot. So I kind of that's tough. I would kind of have to look at where they would be lining up. JSN, if DK Metcalf is out, I think is in a good spot there. Olave against Carolina, yes, definitely a good spot. Darnell Mooney, 6K, a really good spot here. I just like the price. I'm okay with the price. He's pretty consistent with his numbers. He's getting up there in price though, but I still think it's a good price. Shakir against Miami, yes, in a really good spot there. Wan'Dale Robinson, 5,800, yes. Amari Cooper, 5,800 against Miami. I think it's a good price for him. Romeo Doubs, probably not. If Malik Willis, probably not there. Calvin Ridley, if he's good to go, 5,700 against New England. I think that's a good spot. Tyler Lockett, if DK Metcalf is out, yes. Lan McConkey, my boy, my savior, 5,600, yes. Keenan Allen, yes. Cortland Sutton against Baltimore, yes. I think that's pretty cheap for the wide receiver 1 there. Keaton Coleman goes up too high in price for me. Jacoby Myers, 5,300. That's a really cheap stack. Minshew is 45, Myers 53, so 9,800. Or if you go Bowers, we'll look at Bowers soon. It's a pretty good price. Leggett, no. Wicks, no. Tolbert, Tolbert's priced too high. Why are we getting Jalen Tolbert at this price? From 3,400, like I've liked Jalen Tolbert since getting drafted by the Cowboys. It's good to see him finally get some volume, some good snaps. But yeah, 5,100 is kind of it's doable. We'll have to see what Jake Ferguson's price is, but I think it's doable. Going down, looking at it, Gabe Davis questionable. This is scary. Roma Dunze, 4,900 in a good spot there. Maybe Demario Douglas. Would have to look at the matchup though. Tillman at 4,300 for Cleveland. Elijah Moore 40. They don't want to get burnt by Cleveland wide receivers anymore. They don't. They do not want to get beat. 3,700 to 4,200. And Cedric Tillman 3,300 to 4,300. So they don't want to get beat there. Going down, we'll look. So let's just do this because we know there's injuries, and I just don't want to scroll amongst very cheap receivers. Parker Washington 3,600 against Philly. If Brian Thomas is in, he would be the third guy. Gabe Davis should be good. And then Tim Jones. I don't know Tim Jones. I'm going to be honest. I don't know Tim Jones. So depending on the injury statuses of the wide receivers, Parker Washington stands out to me at 3,600. I think that would be the only team that's dealing with it. We'll go to Carolina. My boy Jalen Coker. I will say a big fan of him. 17 DraftKings points last week against Denver. 3,600. Yeah. Real like that price point there for him. And I do believe that would be it. Cincy, Yosivas 3,900, Burton 3,100. And I think that's it. I don't think we have any more big wide receiver injuries on this slate. So Brock Bowers, even if you wanted to go Minshew, Brock Bowers is 6K, so 10.5 thousand for a stack there. McBride against the Chicago's in a good spot there. Njoku against the Chargers, I'm going to lean towards no. Evan Ingram against Philly, yes, at 5,300 with the injuries. Evan Ingram in a really good spot. He's going to see targets. He's going to see a lot of targets. Jake Ferguson, 5,100, so it's kind of the same thing as we've seen. Ferguson, Tolbert, you can just flip a coin of who you want to take there. Kyle Pitts against Dallas in a good spot there. Laporta, a good spot against Green Bay. Tucker Kraft, yeah, it's rough against Detroit. Dallas Goedert, if Dallas Goedert's in at 4,500, in a good spot there. Cole Kmet in a good spot against Arizona. Isaiah, this is tough for Baltimore tight ends. I would lean towards Mark Andrews at 4,200. Taysom Hill, I would watch that whole injury thing. This could be a Taysom Hill week. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This could be a Taysom Hill week. 3,800 Taysom Hill. I'm putting it out there right now. Taysom Hill. Kobe Parkinson in a good spot, but the amount of good spots that Kobe Parkinson has been in this season and just not delivered because he just doesn't get volume, not his fault, right? We seen him get 13 targets, but the volume for the most part hasn't been there, especially as of late. Noah Fant, though, on the other side is in a good spot. My boy Agala Katera, I apologize for botching the name. 3,400 if Dallas Goedert is still out, is in a good spot there. Did we get any tight end injury thing? I haven't seen really any. Kroll, maybe. Did he do anything last week? 2 targets, 18 yards. Nah, not really. So yeah, I'm nothing really stands out as of right now. Maybe Jatavion Sanders, just 1 target last week though, after seeing 5, 7, and 6. But yeah, nothing stands out. We're not really injured at tight end this week, so I mean, kind of looking at the cheapest guy. Noah Fant, 3,600. Maybe something else stands out where you get some news, but I don't think anything really stands out at the tight end. And then last but not least, defenses. We'll look at it. The Giants against Washington, 2,300. What do they do week 2? Got you 5 points at 27, so that's worth watching. This is tough. This is definitely tough. I'm not really seeing anybody that stands out value-wise to me. Cowboys' defense has just not been good. Miami's defense sucked against Buffalo. But yeah, I guess Giants' defense as a value. Otherwise, Bears against Arizona, but the Bears' defense has got to get healthy. I mean, last week, 3 points against Washington. Denver against Baltimore, maybe. I mean, maybe them. Green. I really don't want to target against the Packers or Detroit's offense. So maybe Seattle against the Rams. Where have they been lately? Got creamed by Buffalo. Play good against Atlanta. Creamed by San Fran. I don't know. The Giants kind of stand out for a cheap defense. Otherwise, you're looking at New Orleans, possibly the Lions against Green Bay. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for there. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. We'll have a showdown video going over the Thursday night game tomorrow. If you guys are interested in any of my plays on DraftKings, or we have FanDuel as well, if you guys are interested in that, bets, props, any DFS or fantasy questions, feel free to click the link to our website if you want other premium stuff. It's a very cheap subscription package that we offer, and we do offer trials. So if you guys are interested in that, click the link in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one.